Welcome back to my channel. My last few videos are the heavy-duty ones, especially the ones about Zhangzi's thoughts on happiness. Zhangzi is such a sophisticated and radical philosopher, and he touches on almost every field of philosophical inquiries, including cosmology, ontology, epistemology, ethics, even aesthetics. So it is very hard to categorize his thoughts, let alone to present his thoughts in short videos. So I often worry that I might miss out something important or even misinterpret his thoughts. However, on the other hand, I also feel that the world needs a philosopher like Zhangzi. And it is a pity that not a lot of people know anything about him in the West. And people might miss out what they could learn from Zhangzi. Like I said in my video series about how to enjoy life like a Taoist master, that reading Zhangzi helped me to get out of a deep depression and dealt with some quite serious anxiety issues. I feel that it is my duty as a philosopher to translate Zhangzi into something that is accessible to people in the West. Like Zhangzi already predicted many centuries ago, my views and my interpretation of his thoughts are definitely limited by my experience, my knowledge, even my short lifespan. However, on the other hand, Zhangzi had a deep respect to views from all perspectives. He even tried to take the perspectives of non-human creatures, such as horses, monkeys, or as primitive as fish swimming in the Hao River. I'll make a note to tell the story of the happy fish from the Hao River. So I feel that Zhangzi would not be offended if I try to water down his teachings to my level of intellectual capacity. And you, my friend, would have to put up with my imperfect and sometimes inaccurate reading of Zhangzi. Hopefully, there will be more scholars discussing Zhangzi to the public in the future so that my mistakes would be corrected. Anyhow, with his wise instruction, I hope I am opening up both my and your horizons and get a little closer to what Zhangzi intended to say in his text as I spend more time reading and rereading the text. I welcome any scholars who are interested in Zhangzi to discuss the topics I covered in my videos, either in the comment section or via my email. I will continue my study of Zhangzi and continue to post videos about his thoughts. This is just a bit of rambling to elevate my anxiety and insecurity. Now, I'm going to do something that is really therapeutic. Reading poems from Wang Ji, or the Will River poem collection by Wang Wei and Pei. David and I have been reading and translating poems from this collection for a while. Today, I'm going to present 3 poems. 2 from this collection, one by Wang Wei and one by Pei, about the same scenario stop, and a third poem by Wang Wei with a similar line to the poem of Pei, but has a quite different take about the scenery. I'm Dr. Gao, a philosopher obsessed with poetry. I make videos about the classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, and medicine. Please click the like button and subscribe my channel. Your support is very important to me. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can find the Patreon link in the homepage on my channel or the description section down below. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So if you would like to read the original Chinese text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Now, let's go back to the poems by Wang Wei and Pei. Before I talk about the poems, I would like to read out my translation of Wang Wei's introduction to the Whale River poem collection. My villa is in the Whale River Valley, where there are tourist stops including the Outer City Pass, Flower Seed Ridge, Cultured Apricot Hotel, etc. Pei and I often spend leisure time and compose quatrains together, describing the scenery of these places. There are about 20 stops listed in his introduction. I did not read all the names to bore you, but it just indicates how beautiful the place was. Wang Wei put his heart and mind in renovating and refurbishing the houses, cottages, pavilions, and his main residence there. He also painted a scroll describing these scenery spots. There are several copies of his painting survived the time, but they are not the original painting by Wang Wei. They are copies of the original by later artists. The oldest surviving copies are the two hosted at Shengfushi, or the Shufukuji in Japan, and the Seattle Art Museum in the United States. This one is a Qing Dynasty copy by an artist named Wang Yuanqi, currently hosted at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the United States. As you can see, the estate was huge. Wang Wei later donated this estate and turned it into a Buddhist monastery named Qingyuan Shi, or the Qingyuan Temple. It is such a pity that this monastery was destroyed between 840 and 846 AD when the 16th Emperor Li Yan ordered to destroy all the Buddhist monasteries and temples except a few at the two capitals. Fortunately, some of Wang Wei's painting survived this destruction, and many copies of his painting were preserved until today. So we can still have a chance to know what the Whale River Villa looked like. Now, let's look at the poem by Wang Wei about one of the tourist stops, Huazhigang, or the Flower Seed Ridge. Let me read it in Chinese first. 飞鸟去不穷，连山复秋色。上下华之港，愁长情何极。The poem does not rhyme, but I think it rhymes according to the dialect spoken by Wang Wei. 飞 means fly, 鸟 means bird. 飞鸟 or flying bird is an imagery from Vilamakiti Sutra or 维摩诘所说经. As you can see, it is where Wang Wei's first name, Wei, and his style name, Mo Ji, came from. Wang Wei must know this sutra by heart. In this sutra, flying bird represents the transient nature of everything in the universe. We assume this is the meaning Wang Wei implied by this imagery. It might also have other cultural significance, which I will explain later. 去 means go, 不 means not, 穷 means limit, 不穷 means boundless. Here it refers to the boundless sky. 连 literally means continuous. 山 refers mountain ridge. 复 literally means repeat. Here the character 连 is used with the character 复 to describe the infinite range of mountains spreading out. So David and I translate the character 连山 as infinite range, and 复 as layers of mountain range. 秋 means autumn, 色 means color. 上 and 下 are normally used as adverb about locations of something, such as 桌上 or on the table, 窗下 or under the window, etc. However, they can also be used as a verb meaning going up or going down. 花 means flower, 子 means seed, 刚 means rich, 惆怅 means melancholy, 情 means feeling, 和 means how, 极 literally means ultimate, as in the phrase of 太极. I have made a very long video about this term. Here's the link if you haven't watched it. But here, 极 is used as an adjective to describe the intensity of his melancholic feeling. So David and I translate it as deep. So the whole poem can be translated as birds fly into the boundless sky. Layers of autumn colors spread out on the infinite range. Going up and down the flower seed ridge, how deep is my melancholy? This poem was probably composed during the early days after Wang Wei moved to the Whale River Villa. He was still very much motivated to advance his political career, but he was not making much progress. He was torn between advancing his political career or retiring to the Whale River Villa. This is why there is this conflict feelings expressed in this poem. The imageries of flying bird has the double meaning of the transient nature of all things, as well as setting off to advance his political career. And the autumn season also indicates that it was the wrong time for him to climb the bureaucratic ladder. Wang Wei might already sensed that the Tang Empire was on its way down. By this time, Wang Wei was probably in his late 40s. During the Tang Dynasty, 40 years of age was definitely regarded as old. The imageries of the autumn leaf color was also a sign that Wang Wei felt really old and sensed the passing of time and the transient nature of everything. That was why his melancholy was so deep. However, the mood in Pei's poem is completely different. Now, let me read the poem by Pei in Chinese first. 日落松风起，还家草露稀。云光千里寄，山翠拂人衣。日 means sun, 落 means set, 松 means pine tree, 风 means wind, 起 means rise, 还 means return, 家 means home, 还家 literally means to go home. However, from the next couplet, we learn that he was still on a mountain path leading to his home. So we added the word path. 草 means grass, 露 means dew, 稀 means dry up, 云 means cloud, 光 means light. 云光 refers to the light shining through clouds. 侵 means intrude. 缕 means shoe. 迹 means trace of something. 履迹 literally means the trace left by shoes, that is, footprint. However, in this poem, there are a lot of movement. The setting sun, the rising wind, and the person walking home. So David and I translate 履迹 as footsteps. Now, I would like to look at the phrase 云光 again. We can imagine that we are walking on a path. How would the sunlight intrude on our footstep? Well, only when the sun is setting. The rays of sunlight are slant, and we are walking on a path that is pretty high up in a mountain. This is a very important imagery, and I'll analyze it later. Sun means mountain, tree means kingfisher, but the sun tree is not the kingfisher in the mountain, but the kingfisher-colored leaves in the mountain. 拂 means rush. 人 means person, but here it is used as a self-reference. 衣 means clothes, so we translate 人衣 as my clothes. So the whole poem can be translated as the sun shines and the wind rises through the pines. The dew on the grass has dried up by the path to home. Slender rays through the clouds intrude on my footsteps. The kingfisher-colored leaves on the mountain brush my clothes. As I have pointed earlier, the mood in Pei's poem is very different from that of Wang Wei's poem. Wang Wei's poem sounds gloomy and depressing. For Wang Wei, the autumn, the setting sun, the flying bird were all signs of the ending of a splendid era and the beginning of something unknown and threatening. However, in Pei's poem, the mood is rather cheerful and exciting. The wind rising from the pine forest and the last colors of the leaves were symbols of risk, but also of opportunities. The character Feng and its related phrase, Feng Yun, or wind and clouds, are often used as representations of power struggle at the very top. Both characters appeared in this poem, although not together, but we can still interpret them as symbols of political storms looming at the time. But Pei was optimistic. Note that the autumn color is not of the dying color of brown or yellow, but kingfisher green. This is the color of life and potential. Another imagery is the sunlight shine on his footsteps. This imagery indicated that he was already at an advantaged position, that is, high up at the center of power. Given that Pei was probably in his late 20s, just obtained the highest title in the National Civil Service examination and a powerful family network, he certainly had reasons to be optimistic. We don't know very much about Pei's career, but his highest position was 尚书省郎, or a deputy minister. It was ranked at 4A and was 2 ranks higher than the rank Wang Wei ever achieved. This is certainly one of the best poems composed by Pei. Wang Wei also composed a poem I believe was inspired by this one. One of the lines in Wang Wei's poem rephrased the last line from this poem. Now, let me read Wang Wei's poem in Chinese first. 今夕白石处，天寒红叶稀。山路远无语，空翠湿人衣。京 refers to bramble. Xi means stream. Jingxi is a tributary stream from the Zhongnan Mountain to Bashui, or the Ba River, which flows to the capital Chang'an, as indicated by the red star on this map. Bai means white. Shi means rock. Chu means come out or go out. Here it is used to describe bramble stream flows out over the red rocks. Tian means day or weather. Han means cold. Hong means red. Ye means leaves. Xi means scars. San means mountain. Lu means path. Yuan is an alternative scribe of the character Yuan, meaning actually. Wu means there is not. Yu means rain. Kong means emptiness. Tree refers to kingfisher-colored green. Shi means damp. Ren yi means my clothes. So the poem can be translated as bramble streams flows out over white rocks. On this winter day, red autumnal leaves are scarce. On the mountain paths there is no rain, yet the green emptiness dampens my clothes. The reasons I believe this poem was inspired by Poetic's poem is not that there is a line in Wang Wei's poem similar to a line from Poetic's poem. It is because Wang Wei's poem seemed completed what was started in Poetic's poem. It is clear that Wang Wei's poem was composed in a later day than that of Poetic's poem. Because the weather is colder, the leaves have turned red, and there was only a few leaves left on the tree. Poetic's poem describes the view they saw on their way home in the evening on a path high up in the mountain. It was a panoramic view from the top of the mountain range. The setting sun behind the clouds, the wind blows through the pine forest, and the last green leaves brushing against one's clothes, all representing the looming dangers, and a great opportunity came along with such risks, as well as an agitated young mind who was ready to take on any opportunity and risk. However, in Wang Wei's second poem, the mood is rather calm. The white rocks on the riverbed, the few red leaves on the tree, and the background of the dense green color of the mountain range are all still. The only moving thing is the water in the stream, but it was presented as a background for the white rocks emerging from the water. Apparently, the scenery described in Wang Wei's poem was at a later day than Poetic's poem. Wang Wei's poem presents a stark contrast to Poetic's poem. There is less movement, but certainly more vivid color that reads like a beautiful painting. This is the painting I have posted on the community page earlier. Now, let's look at the last lines from the two poems. 山翠拂人衣. The kingfisher-colored leaves on the mountain brush my clothes. 空翠湿人衣. The green emptiness dampens my clothes. There are only two characters in Wang Wei's line that differ from Poetic's poem. However, the sensual and emotional reactions provoked by Wang Wei's line are very different from that of Poetic. In Poetic's line, it is simply a pleasant experience of the fresh air brushing on one's body and clothes. If we were there, we might just stop and take a deep breath of the fresh air and admire the view. But Wang Wei's line inspires a sudden awakening to the spiritual world of calm and clarity. The character Kong transforms the whole poem into a Buddhist experience of enlightenment. That is why all the colors suddenly become so vivid, and it seems the whole world suddenly becomes peaceful and silent. And we can see the smallest details around us, feel the dampness in the air, and hear the quiet flowing sound of the stream. I have to admit that there are huge differences between Wang Wei's poem and Poetic's poem. Poetic's poem is vividly inspiring, daring, and cheerful. But Wang Wei's poem certainly shows the amazing poetic mastery and has much more spiritual depth. Every time I read Wang Wei, I am astonished by the beauty of his poem and inspired by the newly discovered insights from his poems. I'm Dr. Gao, a philosopher obsessed with poetry. I make videos about classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, and medicine. Please click the like button and subscribe my channel. Your support is very important to me. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can find the Patreon link in the home page of my channel or the description section down below. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So if you would like to read the original Chinese text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.